and you can quote this on me. There is no way the Orioles or Red Sox make the playoffs this season. Yeah, yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
I set the bar really low at the NBA predictions.
I don't think all Mavs fans look into the stats like I do.
It's not the great value Target brand toilet paper or whatever. It's the Charmin Ultra Strong.
I don't know if Nick Nurse is the coach for the Raptors. I don't know if he's the reason why they won the 2019 championship. I feel like that was more of a team effort.
The Mavs cannot say we do not miss Seth Curry shooting threes.
This questions the firing of Dwayne Casey, who I think is a very underrated coach.
To me, the Capitals really pushed all their chips for this season.
Hello, I'm Mike Grimes, and you've been listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man that is, with his notebook, calculating if these are the right moves for the Padres.
Yeah, the Luis Urias trade happened about a week ago, Kevin, and the Padres keep making moves, whether it's the Dylan Cease trade or a lot of other trades they've made this offseason. They've also lost some big pieces, and yeah, that's why we're asking, are they making the right moves, still trying to push for a title?
Yes, and they currently sit, as we're recording, second. They're 22-21. And the thing is, they're not all buying moves. Well, Luis Urias and Dylan Cease were buying moves, but they're a team that traded Juan Soto this summer, a guy that they had bought. And that's a trade you and I had a heavy debate about. And the thing is, I wonder, this seems like they're still buying, but maybe it's calculated buying because Dylan Cease, I think, has one more year. Same thing with Luis Urias. Or is Luis Urias a free agent this year?
I can check Spot Track.
Okay. Because we know Soto's a free agent, and it was pretty... They seemed pretty set that he wasn't going to return, which would have hurt their window.
He is a free agent. Wait. It goes from 24 to 26 on this thing. I think he's a free agent after this season.
Okay.
I think.
And
But
Cease
Spot Track's being weird. It like goes from 2024 to 2026.
Dylan Cease is under club control till 2025. So he's got about one more year.
Yeah, after this year.
Yeah. And it looks like Urias is this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a contract for 2024. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing because you gave up on Juan Soto, and Juan Soto is playing well for the Yankees. But you did get a good hitter in Urias. I'm not sure if there's a game plan for the Padres. I think they've changed their plan, and they've had to adjust on the fly. So I'm going to say I like competing. I like making sure you're competing. My problem with their moves is, what is the game plan? Is it you want to be contenders for the next few years? Which is what their moves were doing before the Juan Soto trade happened. Like the getting rid of Juan Soto. Because getting rid of Juan Soto sends the message to me of, we do not think we can compete. Let's gather some value on the asset, which the asset would be Juan Soto. However, trading for Dylan Cease and Luis Urias to me is, we want to compete now. We don't care. We're trading future assets for a now asset. So what do you think the goal right now for the Padres? I know the goal is to win a championship, but I think
the only way you can explain it, though, is a title. Because you got to think, they're making trades for guys who are Cy Young caliber players, like Dylan Cease. Many people thought that Luis Urias was a top 5 MVP guy last year. A guy that led the Marlins to their first playoff berth, not including the 2020 season, which I don't count. So if you don't count, that's their first playoff berth since 2003. So they're trading for what people consider premier guys. So and they're on short-term deals. They're deals that you don't have much security. If they want to leave, they can. And because of that, I think the only way to determine success is with playoff success.
Yes, I agree. And they're not bad moves trading for Dylan Cease because you mentioned Cy Young, and trading for Luis Arias. Luis Arias is a great hitter, and I like him in this lineup. It's just, I think the Juan Soto trade is what makes these two trades weird for me.
Yeah, I understand that. I do know that there was maybe some concerns about locker room issues last year regarding Tatis and Machado, and maybe Soto was a part of that, and they wanted to just move on. But I can tell that they're not putting all their eggs in one basket by trading away Soto. Yeah, this is not the all-determinant season that it would have been if they had Soto, because then they would be losing a lot of assets for nothing potentially after this year.
Yeah, I agree. And they did sign Xander Bogaerts to a huge move. He's moved to second. Should they move back? I know he was moving out of shortstop. They were putting.
Yeah, I bet
Kim.
they still have Hosta Kim at short because he's such a good defender there.
And then Luis Arias is first base.
Yeah.
Got it. And
then obviously Machado at third.
Yeah, Machado at third. And Tatis is now in right field. And yeah, that's... Oh, Jurickson Profar is still on the team, so he's their left fielder.
He's had a good stretch of things over his last 10 games or so.
Yeah, no, I think Jurickson Profar was the number one prospect in the nation. I feel like he's gone out to he's had a pretty good career. Has it met the expectations of a number one prospect? I'm not sure, but I think when you have a prospect that turns out to be a productive player in the majors, I think that's a good prospect.
Well, this year he's probably been San Diego's best player.
Okay.
He's hitting 321 this season with a 911 OPS, with a 166 OPS plus. He's also, I believe, he has played in all 42 games on the team. So he's leading the team in batting average, OPS plus. The only two guys who have more WAR this season are Dylan Cease and Jake Cronenworth, but that's more on the defensive side. But if we're talking about just hitting and production in that aspect, he leads the team in RBIs as well. So he's been their best player.
Okay, yeah, and so it really seems like their only hole is in center, but that might be Jackson Merrill, and he might be good defensively.
It is Jackson Merrill, and he's been fine. He has a 0.9 WAR, so he's been okay. He's hitting 268 with an OPS plus of 100, which is average. So he's not been their downside. It's really, I believe, their bullpen that's been besides Robert Suarez, because Yuki Matsui's at 408. You have Wandy Peralta at 3.78. You have De Los Santos at 3.52. You have Janai Brito at 4.43. You have Stefan Kolek at 3.2. Those are all okay, but they're not great. And then you have Musgrove, who's been hurt. Matt Waldron is a starting pitcher who's pitched 8 games this year. He has a terrible 5.49 ERA. It's kind of their pitching that's kind of been their main problem, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm looking. Jake Cronenworth, I think from what I saw earlier, he was having a rough season, but he's hitting 286 right now. Bogaerts is struggling 204. Same thing with Hyun-Sung Kim. So,
well, Hyun-Sung Kim's always been a great defensive guy. He's still really high in WAR this year I guess he just has 1 WAR right now, but him being so good defensively and him last year being a Gold Glove, I don't think they determine his value by how well he's hitting.
Yeah, no, I think last year was really good for him hitting wise, as he hit 260, which is the best in his career, which just...
His OPS plus this year, though, is only down 10. It was 109 last year and is 99 this year. It's not like it's a grave difference. He was never a great hitter. 109 OPS plus is not necessarily great. It's just a little above average. And right now it's at 99, which is a little below average.
All right. So, to answer the question we have asked ourselves in the title, of are they making the right moves? Going recently, I'm going to say yes. Because trading for Luis Urias, I like that move. And I like the Dylan Cease move. The only move I don't like is Juan Soto, given what the new moves. If they wanted to trade off guys and just kind of go, we're done trying to win, I understand that. But I can't hate on a team competing. It's just.
I don't think they're making the right moves, including the Juan Soto trade, because you can't. I understand it because you have so many good guys. You can't just completely tank. You have Machado, you have Tatis, you have Darvish, you have Joe Musgrove. You have a lot of guys that are all-stars or perennial guys that have been good in this league for a while. I understand trading one guy to try to bolster maybe the future of your team while still trying to compete with moves like Cease and Arias.
And maybe I'm coming around. I like the moves because Dylan Cease to me was kind of opportunistic. Same thing with Arias.
Yeah, they had to give up a good bit, but it was never a overpay.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, oh, they're going to trade. It kind of was like, hey, we're kind of shopping around Dylan Cease now. And then they went and made that move. And then same thing with Luis Arias. Because during the summer, if you called the Marlins, it'd be like, yeah, we're not trading you Luis Arias. But after their terrible start, they're like, yeah, we'll trade him.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
So I like how they have rebounded from the Juan Soto move, losing that type of player. But I wonder what his stats were in his tenure.
With the Marlins? Or
No, Juan Soto.
Oh.
What his numbers look like for San Diego.
He hit 265 with a 150 OPS plus, 893 OPS. I mean, he was pretty good. I mean, last year he had led the NL in walks. He was sixth in MVP, and that was his only full year with the team. He also played every game, 162, so he's a healthy guy.
Okay. So, yeah, because it seemed like he struggled when he got there.
Yeah, but then he had a relatively good playoffs, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he hit 333 against the Mets and had some big hits, and also had 2 homers against the Phillies in that NLCS. So I think his tenure was somewhat productive. They've never made it that far recently, so him coming there and doing that, I think was good. And while maybe you don't want to give away a player of that caliber, at least they didn't lose him for nothing.
Yeah, and they've rebounded by getting 2 other productive players. So we'll have to see how they play, but they are currently second in the standings in the NL West. But and they're 5.5 games out. So we'll just have to see how this goes. But they've done a good rebound from losing a player of Soto's caliber who was productive as we went over those stats. So that's all I got.
Yeah, same here. I like their moves.